So dudes, welcome back to another how-to. As promised, here's the follow-up for Fairy Tristan after the last Patreon poll between her and Barghest ended up being super close. So here's how to play the big titty vampire stripper Baobhan Sith, my personal favorite of the Fairy Knights. The fact that my favorite indie VTuber is also named Bao is totally unrelated, trust me. Whenever she's not marathoning Star Wars, Baobhan Sith is a 4-star archer who debuted with Barghest and her mom Morgan in the initial Lost Bell 6 banner last year. She's low-key a fantastic single-target quick archer with some great tools for boss fighting. Her only two problems are that she's quick and she comes from the same chapter as this girl. At level 80, she has 12,127 HP, 9,455 attack, and 0.58% MP charge on attack. She's chaotic evil, her notable traits are demonic, Fey, and Writing, and she has a 2A 2Q deck with 4-hit quicks, 3-hit arts, a 3-hit buster, and a 5-hit extra. Her first skill increases her quick performance by 30 to 40% for 3 turns, grants her invul for 1 turn, and the party 1-hit evade, but has a 500% chance to reduce 500 damage from her teammates except herself on an 8 to 6 turn cooldown. Her second skill seals both all enemies' NPs and skills for 1 turn, and charges her own MP gauge by 20 to 30% on an 8 to 6 turn CD. Her third skill lifesteals 2,000 to 3,000 HP from one enemy, although she can't actually kill an enemy doing this, has an 80 to 100% chance to drain their MP gauge by 1, and charges her own MP gauge by another 20 to 30%, all on an 8 to 6 turn CD. Reminder that the MP drain chance on this skill is not affected by enemy debuff resist because the game doesn't consider MP drain effects to be a debuff, so the 100% chance to drain means that it's guaranteed no matter what. Her passives increase her debuff resist by 25% and her quick and arts performance both by 10%, and her third append gives her bonus attack against alter egos just like Barghest. And her MP is a single target quick NP that first gives herself evasion pierce, then deals damage to one enemy. It then puts curse on them that does 1,000 damage every turn, and at the same time puts evil curse on them that increases their curse damage taken, both for 5 turns. Whenever Bao isn't talking about how she has like 2 wolves inside her or something like that, her skills give me hella whiplash coming here from the Barghest video because of how stacked they are, just like her tits. Her first skill is a great place to start. She has a rare 3-turn 40% color buff, which for reference most 3-turn damage buffs cap out at 30%, and if you take her writing passive into account, it's basically a full 50% quick mana burst that she's getting here. But arguably the hard defense effects are even better. Not only does Bao stack both invul and evasion on herself, but she can also cover her teammates on her own in case they can't defend themselves from an incoming enemy MP. Considering how many times I've been in a tough spot with having to choose which support to keep alive with like Atlas Invul for example, this is quite the perk to have, especially from your DPS of all servants, because as we all know, DPS servants aren't exactly known in FGO for having party hard defense skills. It does have the unfortunate drawback that this skill has both a damage buff and hard defense, so it's not like you can choose to have one but not the other just because it's convenient. It also kind of sucks that this is the only skill that gives her an actual damage buff of any kind because she doesn't have any others in the rest of her kit. However, the party evasion having infinite duration, just like OG Tristan's, does mitigate this problem quite a bit, since even if Bao herself can't use her invul properly, at least she can still tank a hit in the turn after. One of the more common mistakes that I make in challenge quests is when I pop an invul or evasion skill somewhere to defend against an enemy NP, and then charge drain them right after because I'm a dumbass, making me contemplate why I even bother playing this stupid fucking game to begin with. So it's naturally very convenient for me that Tristan has this double layer of hard defense, I'm not gonna lie. While I'm sure it doesn't come up often, this skill is perfect for challenge quests where bosses have break effects that instantly charge their MPs and then blast your ass. Even if it's AoE, that's fine since the party evade covers your whole team as long as they don't have evasion pierce, that is. By this point, you should kind of get the sense that Bao is a really good boss killer, and the rest of her skills reflect that too. Her second and third skills together give her an MP seal, skill seal, a charge drain, and a life steal too in case she needs that. The best perk by far, however, is her 60% charge. Not even a 50% battery, 60%. And it's split between 2 skills, so that way you can pick how she gets that charge. You can pop both instantly for an immediate 60%, or you can start her off with a 50% CE and max A2, so that way you can just use one of her batteries and then use her other one to top her off the next turn with like Scotty's help or something. And to top it all off, her MP has evasion pierce built in, so that way she can deal with sabers and Zerks who have evasion skills of their own. Literally the only thing that Bao doesn't have that would have otherwise made her a potential top tier boss killer is like a super effective mod on her MP. That would have been a lot more useful than her evil curse overcharge, but she'll do just fine with Scotty support for most things. Also remember that since Bao's chaotic evil, just like the VTuber when it comes to how she treats her editors and mods in Twitch chat, Domon is going to be a great plug suit support for her, and daily reminder that Chinese Lolly Empress is your budget quick support if for some reason you can't find any Scotties on your support list. And unlike for a lot of servants, her passives are all very useful. The best magic resist passive in the game, and she's not even a ruler, and free quick and arts buffs that give her even more damage and MP gen. So yeah, basically, give her the best quick supports you got, point her at the nearest single target saber or berserker that doesn't have an invul skill, buff stack her to the moon, and watch her crucify them on the nearest tree or something. Pretty simple. Her max bond CE gives her a 30% MP damage buff and makes it so that her normals have a 30% chance each to charge her MP gauge by 5%. The effects make sense and the normal attack buff is nice, but again, it's a max bond CE, so its stats are trash. Some CEs you should use on her instead are things like Golden Sumo or MP damage buff CEs like Holy Night Dinner for better buff stacking. And because Bao is a quick servant, you can give her Starweight CEs like Hot Sands if you run her as a dedicated crit servant. In summary, Bao is a great single target boss killer archer with big tits and big skills, and she's kitted against sabers and Zerks who have evasion skills specifically. Just make sure not to play Despacito when she's around. She's gonna have flashbacks and turn into her third ascension automatically if you're not careful, just like Bao's chat whenever she pulls up the Bao Berry. The poll for the next how-to should be up on the Patreon, assuming I didn't forget about it. Check out the Patreon if you want to participate. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more, and as always, thanks for watching.